Yes, ma'am.
Talk about why this is your passion project, how you got involved as a producer and composer, and your first meeting with Katherine Johnson.
Well, it's important to me because of the first meeting with Katherine Johnson. I met her and had no idea that 6 years later, I would be one of the producers to help bring her story to life and to the big screen. But she's also an African American woman and going through the plight of living in the 60s and being a woman and what that is still like, in 2016. Not a lot has changed for women. And women have made big strides, but there's still a lot of people who don't understand why women not only deserve equal, but even more. Women, those very same people forget that it was a woman that carried that person around for 9 months. So there's just so much. I mean, the idea that these women were not just, artists like you often see, or athletes like you often see, but these women were actually mathematicians, they were scientists, they were engineers. And the idea that we get to help lift that story, and as a musician, that I was able to produce the backdrop for some of those moments in the film, and to work with Hans Zimmer and Ben Walfisk on creating that large audio soundscape for what they must have been feeling. That's been a pleasure. That's what makes this a pet project. And the idea that all of this happened in my hometown, Hampton Roads, Virginia, that's huge.
And working with these three amazing actresses too. Can you talk
Yeah.
about that?
Well, I think in 2015, there were only like 2 films with an African American female lead, which is not only weird, but it's just like, we can do better. And so we have this film in 2016 with 3 African American women. You have Taraji Henson, you have Octavia Spencer, you have Janelle Monáe, who are highlighting 3 other African American women, which is Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. That gives you 6 African American powerful women in their own right. They all do something different. So to us, this is like a really paramount moment, and we're just doing everything in our power to make sure that people see this, because it's important. Everyone that worked on this film on the set, you just get this energy that like, they knew that it was bigger than what they were being paid. They knew it was bigger than whatever accolades they're probably more than sure going to get. They knew that this was for the culture, and not just the African American culture, but American culture, because American culture needs to evolve. And the only way that it's going to evolve is by including cultures like ours and the female narrative. It's just time. It is time for women to have their light under the sun with no shade.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Great answer. Admire you.
Thank you.